Hello and welcome to Smile Diaries. I'm Dr. Gina Harb. Today, I sat down and chatted with one of my favorite Orange County housewives, Gina Kirschenheiter. We talked about being a busy mom of 3, joining families with her boyfriend, and what is it like filming for the Orange County Housewives. We talked about her new skincare line and what is she been up to behind the scenes. You don't want to miss this one. Dirty fantasies. Hello and welcome to Smile Diaries. I'm Dr. Gina Harb. I am so excited to bring on this gorgeous guest today. She's a friend of mine, a patient of mine too, and one of my favorite of Bravo TV Real Housewives of Orange County, Gina Kirschenheiter. Hi, Gina.
Hi, Gita. Or should I call you Dr. Harb today?
No, it's okay. You can call me Gita.
Okay.
We're on first name basis.
I always call you Gita, but like
You
today
do.
when you introduced yourself, I was like, oh, maybe I should call
I
you
have
Dr.
to
Harb.
formally introduce myself as Dr.
You
Gita
should.
Harb.
I
But
mean,
no,
if I
with you.
had a medical degree, I would tell everybody
Right?
I'm a doctor. Yes.
That white coat took like a lot of all-nighters
You
and
earned
hard
it.
work. So
Yes.
yeah, well, I appreciate you, but you can call me
Yes.
Gita.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally will.
How are you today?
I'm great.
Good.
I'm waiting for what is this, not Orange County?
This is I want my tax money back.
Right?
Because
Yes,
this is not okay.
100%.
This rain is driving me
No.
crazy. And
we pay a
it's-
premium.
We pay a
but
premium.
because it's worth it. 75 and
100%.
sunny.
Yes.
Let's turn the sun back on.
We need it on, Gina. This is not
Yes.
okay. It's a little depressing.
It is depressing,
Yes.
especially down by the beach. You know, I want it to
Totally.
be, yeah.
And we never used to like check the weather in Orange County. Now I'm on my
No.
weather app, which is kind of bizarre.
Well, what's worse is I still don't check it, but then I'm just like
Oh.
sending my children to school in like shorts when it's like
It's
raining,
like raining and
Yes.
cold.
But it is what it is. They never complain. So.
That's okay. They're
Fine.
kids. They don't even get cold.
They don't.
They never get cold.
And it's always warmer than New York, so it doesn't matter.
Speaking of New York, I was just in New York and the rain followed me too.
Oh,
So
really?
I was so
What
sad.
a drag.
I know, totally. But it was still fun. We still shopped
I bet it
and
was.
brunch
Yeah.
and
It's
had a
always
great
fun
time.
there.
So you look stunning today.
Thank you.
You always look so pretty.
Thank you.
So I want to know, tell me what it's like. Let's start talking about a little bit about the Housewives. What is it like being on the Housewives and how did it come on? How did you actually get to be on the Housewives? So give us a little history of how you came on the show.
So it's funny. I've told this story a lot, and because it really is how it happened. It really happened to me very by accident, honestly. I had moved to California. I'd only lived here like a year, maybe a pinch over a year. I had a very good friend, Tatiana, and we clicked so fast because we were both from New York, but we didn't know each other that long, so we didn't know everything about each other. Come to find out, she has this friend, Tamra, and I was like, what? Like, Tamra's your friend? Like, this is crazy. And she's like, yes. And she was having like a party for Advocare or something. And she's like, Tamra's going to be there. Do you want to come? And I'm like, well, I don't really give a shit about the vitamins, but I want to meet Tamra. You know, I'm like, I watch the show. I'm like an actual housewife at home. I drive a minivan. I'm like, yeah, I want to come. So I remember I went that day and met Tamra. And then following that party, Tot was like, oh, I'm auditioning for Housewives. And I was like, what's an audition? I didn't even know, you know?
Right.
And she's like, well, they're going to do this Skype, whatever. And she did the Skype. And then after that, there was like a 9-page application. She put my name and it was like, if you know anybody else who would be interested.
Yeah.
She put my name and number. They called me and they kept calling me. And like 2 months later, I was on the show.
Wow, that's so amazing. They just loved you.
crazy.
I mean, you
It's
have that
crazy.
personality too. You're just bubbly and cute and fun and you're just down to earth. So
Yeah,
it's-
I mean, I think that even if you don't get on the show, like I like to tell, because I'll put up my friends and stuff, and like some women will go through, and it's never really about that actual person. It has to be like right time, right place. And
Absolutely.
it's like being in it now for a long time, like I see that. And I think that at the time the show needed a little like levity, you know, like it needed to just, and a little like more realness. And I guess like being from New York too was like an interesting, you know,
Yeah, it was
I was
a
like
nice,
an outlier.
breath of fresh air to
Yeah,
have
that's
you on.
that's what it was at
Yeah.
first when everybody would say that. And so like now, and then like my whole life fell apart. So that was actually really hard personally, but very helpful professionally because very interesting. All this crazy shit that happened to me. Yes.
I know. Everything just sort of happened to you right when you got on the show.
And I was like, you know what? I'm here and I made this commitment and I don't want to be, I'm just going to share and put it out there, and this is my life and it is what it is, So, and people have fortunately been very receptive to that. So I'm very thankful for the show. I also think that having gone through some of the stuff that I've went through personally, like I wasn't originally a person who would talk about things and my feelings and all that. And the show kind of forced me to in a lot of the ways. Even this year, even now my 5th year going through this, I'm still finding that things came up this season that you will see emotionally for me. And I go through like emotional roller coasters, but if it wasn't for the show, I think that I wouldn't have the opportunity to process out a lot of the stuff that I've went through. So it's actually been really helpful.
Yeah. And you were you're always very real on the show. That's why we love you, and you're just down to earth, and I love that about you. So
thank you.
Well, that's good. So tell me, what is it like filming and being on the Housewives? How is that stressful, filming and constantly having cameras around you, around the kids, and how do you manage that?
It's definitely not easy. We film for usually about 4 months at a time, and people don't really understand everything that goes into it. It actually is like an enormous amount of work, and you film 5 days a week, 2 minimum, sometimes 3 times a day. You just ping, ping, ping. I mean, we've filmed before.
We filmed it before in
like
our
I brought
office.
The kids in, Dr. Panna. And like that stuff was amazing. And that was one of, I think, 3 things I did
and
that
I think
day.
They were in our office half a day for about a 5-minute shoot clip. So it does take a lot of time and a lot of effort. And it's exhausting too.
Honestly, literally, and this just seems so ridiculous, but it's true. Just keeping up with the volume of clothes that you need, just to because you can't, for continuity, you can never be wearing the same thing, and from season to season. And just us girls, like we wanna. It is kind of fun to get to dress up and wear different things, and I love all that, but it becomes like a job.
It is a job
with it.
Well, people don't see that. People just see you on TV. They see the fun part. They edit it, hour that they watch, but they don't know what goes on behind the scenes and all the work. Even sitting doing makeup and hair is exhausting.
It really is,
because it takes hours, and then it's on a daily basis and all of that. So that's crazy. So tell us a little bit about, how did you meet? We've been out before on date nights together with Travis.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit, how did you guys meet?
So it's funny because we actually got set up through my friend Shay, who at the time was doing my hair and makeup for my confessionals on the show. And she doesn't do it any longer because during COVID, she got really nervous during COVID, and I totally get that. And then they ended up actually moving away. But I remember she just was like, she was almost like nervous to do it too. Cause she's like, I don't want to be responsible if this doesn't work out, one of the things. But she was like, I know this great guy, and Travis worked, he had a company, at the time, like aerospace parts company. I've been there a couple of times. It's like very machine shop, like whatever. But, he worked for Travis there, and, they were buddies, and he's just such a good guy, and he knew that he had been through like a bad divorce, and that he had 3 kids, and I had 3 kids, and I remember Shay showed me his pictures, and actually from his Instagram, that was the one thing I was like, I don't know if I find him attractive.
Oh, okay.
And that was like kind of an issue. But then now I realize, because then when I saw him, we talked for weeks before we actually went on a date, because I was in New York at the time, and I swear I fell in love with him, just from texting
on the phone.
and talking on the phone and all that. So then when it came to our first date, I was like, please just let me find him attractive. And then I was like, oh my God, you're so cute. And then I realized he just is a guy that doesn't know how to take a picture. And then that I like even better now, because I'm like, I don't want to date the guy that knows how to hit all the angles and look all hot.
No, you don't want that.
He really is just a great partner, great dad, and like that's how he takes pictures. And now like I love him for it, but like I help him a little bit with his pictures.
Well, he seems so sweet. He's like very kind, very sweet, very loving, and like down to earth too. And like,
he's a good partner. I don't think I could do it honestly without him. In like this season 2, you'll see, because you know they always like to talk about all our relationships and everything, and you'll see a bit about our relationship. And he really is just like the best partner I could ask for. We have a lot of kids between the two of us.
Yeah. So tell us how many kids do you guys have?
We have 6.
Okay. So what is that like?
It's like having 2, but like 4 more. It's a lot of children. It's a lot of children. There's no getting around it. It's so many, but we are really blessed because they actually do all get along so well. And like as a family unit, we really got it down. It's almost like I don't want to say like knock on wood because it's like so good and I don't want anything to ever mess that up.
You don't want to jinx it. Yeah.
Yes. And we're really in that sweet spot because of their ages.
And what are the ages?
So so tomorrow is Joseph's, Trav's youngest birthday. So as of tomorrow, or actually Saturday it is. I forget what day of the week this is. Saturday.
It's Thursday.
I know, this is crazy. So Saturday we'll have 2 7-year-olds, 2 9-year-olds, and my Nicholas will be 11 in June and Presley will be 12 in September. So
wow,
they're basically, it's like one part of the year.
It's like double.
Yes.
It's like the same ages, but like times 2.
And there's one time during the year that they'll all be the same. So they'll be 7, 9, and 11. And then there's another time that they'll be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like it's funny.
My
gosh. I keep saying I gotta get pictures with them holding their numbers. But then I realize I have 6 kids and I'm never going to get those pictures taken. But
that's never going to happen.
Never.
And try taking pictures with kids. They don't
it's impossible. I know.
Impossible.
I have to say mine are at this point, like at least my 3, they are pretty good about it because they've had, like I give my kids a lot of credit. Like they handle this whole thing so well. They act very mature about it. And they understand that like if we have to film or whatever, even if they're not in the mood or it's not their favorite thing, like they participate and they get it that like this isn't just, oh, we're on TV and la la la. This is also like mommy's job and that mommy works to take care of everybody. And like I really appreciate the fact that my kids are supportive of that and they understand it and like they take it seriously. Like I put away every time that they film, I put away specifically like money into their accounts because I feel like they should have that. Like they're working, right?
100%.
So I'm very thankful that
they
my kids
are
so
actually. Your kids are really good. I mean, they've been to our office. They come for their orthodontic work and everything, and they're so good. I remember your son. One time we were trying to take a picture and do like a little story, and he looks at your daughter, and your daughter just wasn't, smiling. Yeah. And he looks at her and goes, smile, smile. And I just looked at him. I go, you're a professional. You're so good at this. So he knows, like he knows it's work. Yeah. And you could tell he gets it.
And he helps me.
He does.
And he knows like he takes that role on very well. Like anytime we do like the green screen stuff, he's like, okay, guys, come in. Like he really tries. It's very sweet.
And it's been 5 years you've been on the show. So I feel like they were so much younger and it's been part of their lives. So
they don't really know. They can't remember a time before it. But I like that it's also a blip in time. And I like that the focus of the show is not on them because it's not like they're, filming every day or whatever. It's just the worst part for them is that I'm not around a lot when we're filming. So for 4 months, I feel like, and it keeps like, it will change the schedule. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to like prepare for that. So I just feel like sometimes during that time, like I miss a lot of the sports and I miss a lot of the school stuff. And that's a bummer for me. Mm-hmm. But you're a working mom. I mean, that's part of everything.
You can't. And I remember the first time missing my daughters, I think it was Christmas event. I literally was crying as I was drilling on my patients. I was so sad. And it's hard. As a working mom, you have to do what you got to do. Yeah. And sometimes you just have to miss certain things. And, they have to understand that too. So.
Yeah. And I know, like, I respect you because you've worked really hard to carve out like your professional life, and just because you're a mom, like you shouldn't have to give all that up. So like I respect you for continuing to work and to endure the heartbreaks.
It is.
To continue to work and do something
Yeah.
for yourself. Like, it's important.
It's very important. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's so sweet. So speaking of traveling and going with the Real Housewives, tell us a little bit about some of the crazy trips, or what is it like traveling with the Housewives of OC?
Well, I'll say it depends on like who you go with and what trips you go on. Any trip that you go with Debro is great because you get a little private jet action.
Of course.
So that's always really nice. But like, honestly, in general, anytime we travel, it is really cool because, like, you know, we essentially have like handlers. So that's nice because you don't have to think about it or whatever.
Yes.
But you do have to think about like everything that you're going to pack. And that's a lot. Like, I do it very systematically, knowing like the itinerary of what we're going to do and stuff. And to try, because you do not have, like, people don't understand the trips. Oh my God. Like, you are so mentally, physically exhausted by the end of a trip because you are, you know, your sun up to sundown and
filming.
beyond.
Right.
Yeah. And then you're, you know, you're partying and you're, you know, exhausted and it's a lot. So that is, I think, like, probably some of my most memorable trips. Jamaica was a lot of fun. That was like one of my first trips we took. It's not really about where we go. It's just about some of like the stuff we do. Even if it's like in Jamaica, it was that where their shark came, and I was like, that was so terrifying to me.
Did I miss that episode?
Oh God,
I have to go back and
you gotta
watch
go back
it.
to that one.
I
was
have to go back to that
clinging
one.
to a starfish for dear life. I mean, it was ridiculous, but I was so scared. And like things like that. I don't know. I just remember most like good memories, honestly. I don't, you know, and I'll defend myself, but I'm not really there to fight anyone. I'm not super sensational. I'm just more fielding reality as it comes, you know?
Yeah.
So
you just want to have fun with the girls and have a good time.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, that's great. I love watching all of your trips. And I remember there was one of them, I think. Were you guys in Palm Desert? Did you ever go to...
We did do that, yes, with for Bronwyn's vow renewal.
Oh yeah,
That's
that was
what it
very
was.
dramatic. That was a very dramatic episode.
Which actually, I can tell you, this is a little tidbit. So, you know, this was the first year, which I talked about this publicly. This was okay. The first year that I did the show and I wasn't drinking.
Oh,
so that was very interesting.
Yes.
So, and a People article came out about that and everything. And Bronwyn actually did reach out to me on Instagram, just to say, like, in response to the People article, to say, like, basically, like, congratulations, and that's so great to be supported.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool of her.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So speaking of drinking, are you still not drinking?
Still not drinking.
I remember we went out. Has it been a year since?
It's been like over a year and a half.
We went out and you said you weren't drinking. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, so you stuck with it. That's really good.
Time. Yeah, I'm done.
Good for you.
Party's over, at least for now. I found that, like, once I got through the initial part of it, that I don't even think about it anymore. Yeah. And so now all I think about is how, when I was drinking, like, the bad stuff that it brought to me. And I think, like, specifically emotionally, it was just kind of getting in my way, you know, because of everything I've been through and whatever. And so I just decided I don't need to do that no more. And once I did it, everything in my life just continued to get better. So I just have no reason to want to go back on that.
Right. And it intensifies everything too. So if you're sad, it makes you just more sad. If you're angry, it makes you more angry. And it's just almost not necessary. So
and I was like I think I was like using it to numb a lot of the pain and the stuff I was going through. Because you got to put one foot in front of the other and take care of your kids. And I think I got myself to a place where I was like, you know what, I don't really need to numb myself anymore. Like, I'm capable of feeling all of these feelings and dealing with them, and then processing and leaving them out the door, you know.
That's amazing. Good for you.
It's been good for me. Yeah.
And speaking of not drinking, tell us a little bit about well, you lost a lot of weight. And you look so good.
Thank you.
You look stunning. I walked in today. I was like, wow, she looks
I actually
so
have
good.
gained like 10 pounds since I stopped filming. Because when I film, I'm so busy that I just don't get the opportunity to eat. So I have like gained weight, but I know I'm still a lot thinner.
You're a lot thinner. You look great. You look in shape. And I know you just did a post recently about people accusing you of taking Ozempic. So tell us about that. What is the deal with that?
You know, I think I just got frustrated because I stopped drinking like over a year and a half ago, and my weight loss has been super gradual. Like, I don't think anyone can really accuse me of saying like, oh, it happened overnight. You know? And so it's just kind of frustrating because I feel like I get it that there's a lot of women who are on it, and it's not a judgment. I think everybody should do whatever they want to do. But the bottom line is I'm not on a weight loss drug, and I felt like it was frustrating to me because it was not easy to stop drinking. And I've been established this new lifestyle and this new healthy lifestyle for over a year and a half. And I feel like people were just very quick to take that from me with this new fad and trend.
Well, because it's a new trend and everybody's on it. So you lose a little bit of weight, people assume you're on it.
Totally.
So,
but like also I get frustrated because, you know, we all get our stuff and all the nonsense thrown at us. And personally, I'm like, you can't call me like the poor housewife, right? And then also accuse me of being on this like very expensive weight loss drug.
Yeah,
I'm like, you have to pick a lane.
How much is it? It's pretty expensive.
I don't know.
I don't even know.
I'm not on it, but
yeah.
I hear it's very expensive, you know? So, and if I was on it and I was getting it for free, I would be promoting it. So
100%.
I'm not on it. I'm not even saying like, I'm personally, all I hear about it is that you feel sick when you're on it and you don't eat at all. And I'm like, well, that sounds horrible.
That's terrible. Who doesn't want to eat?
I can't do that.
Yeah, no,
that's
I
not
can't
me.
either. I love food. I love food. I love French fries.
Yes.
I need food, and I can't be nauseous all the time. That's not a good feeling.
No, like I've been pregnant so much. I'm not chasing that. No,
yeah, no,
that is not my jam. And I just love ice cream too much to.
Oh well. Hey, girl.
Yeah, I'm
ice
not,
cream and chocolate.
Right. I'm like, I can't. I'm not taking away every joy I have in life. I already don't drink. Why would I take food from it? It's the only thing I have left.
Exactly.
You know,
you gotta eat.
I'm going to eat.
You gotta eat and you gotta enjoy it. I'm like that. I cannot not eat.
You're so tiny, but you do eat.
I do eat. I love food.
You're like Danielle.
Yeah, like Danielle.
Very tiny, but you both like to eat.
Yeah,
I think
and
it's great.
I get accused of not eating all the time, and then when I go out with my girlfriends, they look at me and they're like, "You eat more than we do." So
and that's got to be frustrating for you.
It's very frustrating.
It's kind of
I get that all the time.
The same concept. I feel like that really is like the same concept. So like you really understand that because when you're getting accused of something that you're just not doing, plus you work out all the time, so like you earn it.
Exactly. That's what makes me mad is when people say you're too skinny or you don't eat, and here I am at 5 a.m. every morning, 7 days a week working out. So,
plus you don't
I get
look,
it.
to me, you do not look underweight. I think you're very healthy. You have a stunning body. And I think people just like to hate.
Gina needs to be my promoter.
Well, like, cause do you ever, I'm curious, like with because your Instagram, you put a lot out there. Have you ever had a situation where you had like a client or patient say, I don't want to come to you anymore because of that stuff?
I don't want to
like see you as like have you ever had that happen
as a doctor? Or they don't. You know, I've had not necessarily. Most of my patients have been amazing and they're great, but you know, I do have some things like this morning. I was working out. I was in the middle of my run, and I get a message on Insta, and it was from someone that said, "Why do you work out every day? You're so skinny. It's unnecessary." I mean, seriously, I eat right. You know, you work out, you're doing something healthy. I'm fit, I'm toned, and I'm strong. And that's something to be celebrated, not something to be put down.
And it's up to you how much you choose to share that and celebrate that. The real problem is how much people feel they have a right to comment on things that you're doing.
Exactly.
You know, it's your page, it's your body.
100%.
And what you do with that, as long as you're not being offensive or out of bounds, you should be supported.
Right.
Like, there's no reason to attack. Like,
people should actually take that and, you know, learn from it or feel, you know, inspired, motivated.
Oh, maybe I'll go work out.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I see your stuff, that's how I feel. Yeah. But I never actually go work out. But I do feel very inspired by it. My friend's hot.
I'm glad I'm inspiring you, Gina. That's great. Gina's like, oh,
I'm like, I should work. I put it on my calendar. Yeah,
I should, but I'm not going to. So that's amazing. And I want to ask you, you always post about your bonus mom.
Yes.
Tell us about that. What is it like?
So I love Britt. Britt is my ex-husband's girlfriend. Okay. And she's my kiddo's bonus mom.
Does she have kids as well?
She does. Okay. She has 2 kids of her own. Her daughter is actually the same age as my daughter. So that's nice because then when my kids go over there, they have Gemma. And then they also have Gavin, who is a little bit older than my son. I think he's 14 now. But he's like the sweetest boy. Because, at first I'm like, oh, he's a little older than my oldest. And you don't want it to be like what's an
Big
influence or, like he's so much more ahead. But honestly, he's like the sweetest kid that it's nice because he's like a role model, you know? So, and Britt is she's just a good person. She's hands-on. She puts the kids before anything. She does so much for the children. Like she genuinely loves my kids. And I just feel like if you are a mom and whoever it is, if they're a person in your life that loves your children, why wouldn't you embrace that?
100%.
So,
and it's help too. It's helpful having somebody there when you have to do other things. You have her to help you out with
now
certain
I
things.
have 2 moms.
Exactly.
It's incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and we support each other and we live in the same community, down the road from each other.
Great.
So all our kids are in the same stuff and we get to go to everything together or carpool together, and it's just really, and it's gone beyond that. The parenting stuff is great, but we just have a friendship that's really nice.
That's good.
She's I always say this, which is creepy, but I feel like my ex-husband is more like my brother, and I feel like Britt's like my sister-in-law. And I know that that's
It
creepy.
probably took a while for that to get to that point.
100%.
I'm sure.
I mean, it's normal, with anybody else, when somebody first comes into your life, you're going to be apprehensive and everything.
100%.
And whatever. And I'm sure it wasn't ideal for her either, but once she really showed me very quickly that her intentions were good and that she was a good person, and so I would be a fool not to embrace that and nurture that. And so it's been years now, almost 4 years that she's been with my ex, and so they're genuinely in love and having this relationship, and now I'm just
you're all for
shit,
it.
I'm like, don't mess this up, Matt, because I cannot lose Britt.
Be nice to her.
Go bring her flowers.
Be so good to her.
Be so good to her.
Treat her right. I need her in my life.
I need her. Yes.
I love that. So tell us, what have you been up to lately? I haven't seen you personally in a while, and every time we text and message, you say you're this, you're doing that, you're flying here. You've been so busy.
I have been busy.
So busy.
Yes.
So tell us, what else have you been up to? What's going on in Gina's life?
So I have been jet setting a little bit, but I have been, but mostly for work stuff. And then the kids, all the sports and everything is crazy. But then professionally, I still have Caragalla, which is my skincare company, which is, thriving. But basically, it's with that business, as it's generating income and putting it back into the business. I'm trying to grow it.
Right.
So I needed to find something that worked for me and that I could commit to and that I could take care of my kids with now. I obviously have the show, but I'm very aware that could all be gone tomorrow, So I decided to go and get my real estate license.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know.
Gina.
So I am officially
selling
licensed.
sunsets.
Yes. So you never know. I was like, oh yeah, and then maybe I secure a little spin off there or something. Got to keep doggy paddling.
You could do two shows at the same time.
Whatever I have to do. But yes, I'm very excited about that. So
you have your license now. You got it.
Fully licensed.
Great.
Yes. And
have you started yet?
Well, technically I've started.
Okay.
I attend my weekly meetings, and I'm I'm active in all of the systems and looking around and trying to promote and drum up business. But, I have this platform, but just like everybody else, I'm going to have to work for it,
right.
Which is fine. I'm actually excited to have a normal ass job,
Besides the cameras around
right.
you.
Besides where I'm just let's go buy a house together. Let me help you find your home. I'm excited about it. So
yes. Well, hey folks,
cool.
if you're looking for a house in Orange County, you know who to call,
yes,
right?
Thank you.
Well, we'll be calling you soon. Don't worry about it.
I love it. Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about, besides your real estate license and all of that, what do you see in the future for Gina? Where does Gina want to be? Are you planning on staying in Orange County? Is this it for you? Do you miss New York?
I will always.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I think that the thing is for me, Gita, is I will always miss New York. Half of my heart will always belong to New York. But I think that for the most part, I feel that California is really my home now. But I really don't like to do that. I kind of feel to me, it's staying in the past is like going backwards, and then like looking too far ahead is a little bit anxiety inducing. I really like where I am right now.
Good.
And so I'm just honestly loving the present and not trying to rush through it and not trying to look too far forward. Obviously would love to be successful and all that. I'm going to continue to grow my real estate business and whatnot and take care and provide for my kids. But other than that, I'm just like riding the wave, and I'm really happy doing it.
I love that. I think that's great. Being in the present, living in the moment. And tell us about your skincare line a little bit. I wanna talk about that a little bit. So
let me tell you. Okay, so
tell us a little bit.
Couple bit of the like my fun things that I love about the line. So the name Carrot Gala, I love this because it's important to me. It just sounds pretty and fun. And
how did you come up with the name?
So first of all, it's very hard to come up with a name for a business. Like very difficult.
It is, yes.
But so Cara is a type of orange, and Gala is a type of apple. So for me, it represents Orange County, and then the Big Apple for New York.
Oh my God,
Cara
that's
Gala.
smart.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know, but like it's very special to me. And then right now our full product line has 11 products. They all have active ingredients. They're all like incredible. I personally changed my skin with it, but really I just wanted to create a line of skincare that was easy, that women can use at home. The entire thing is also travel size, which is nice. And also, one of the things that I did personally, because it would drive me nuts, when you buy skincare, it's an investment.
Oh,
it's not
100%.
cheap.
It's not cheap at all.
And even though our price point is affordable, it's still, it's an investment. And for me, it would drive me nuts when I would buy a line, and you have to use it for it to work. And every time I would go to use my cleanser at the sink, it would be in the shower. And every time I was in the shower, it would be at the sink. So every single one of my cleansers comes with two, one for the sink and one for the shower.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that because I'm always in the shower and I call my husband,
right?
Mark. And he goes, what? I need my cleanser. It's in the second drawer left of the sink.
Exactly.
This is genius.
Yes,
Gina.
so that's what I did.
I love that.
So I really tried to make it very easy.
Great.
User-friendly, like not a lot. I didn't do toner because I think toner's a waste. I'm like, why are we doing this extra step? Amazing serums. And just quality products.
Well,
honestly.
I have to try it.
Yes.
I can't wait to
know.
try it.
I wish I was running
Next
a little late.
time.
I wanted to bring you a little gift bag, but I will bring it. I owe you a visit. I have to get back. I avoid
need
you
to
now.
come back.
I know. I avoid you because I don't like going to the dentist.
What? But you love coming to me.
You actually are.
Can we talk
you're
about?
a very good dentist.
Can we talk about your visit and how gentle I was?
You were actually so gentle, and you took out all of my.
We took out your silver,
and I've had zero problems since.
Good, I'm glad.
And I actually feel like I don't know if it's a mental thing, but like I feel healthier.
Well, it is healthier.
Yes.
I mean, when you're chewing on that mercury, it's constantly being released in your body. So,
and I think it's good because everybody is so concerned. Which it's great to get your teeth whitened and you want them to look beautiful, but for me, that was like a real thing that I
more of a health.
I wanted to do that, so I was very thankful.
Well, you are a great patient, I have to say. I know you are very, very anxious about being in my chair, but you did great, and your teeth look amazing. And when I watch you on TV, I'm like, those are my teeth,
right? I know, and you did. You evened out this one too.
We evened out the front, and it looks amazing, and I'm proud of them.
You should be.
Yeah, I just say when I see a patient, I call them my teeth, not your teeth. So when I walk in a room, I go, "How are my teeth doing?"
You can take credit for these teeth.
I love them. You look stunning. So, and I know we got to wrap it up, but give our audience a little bit of advice. Give young girls a little bit of advice. What if you were to give one advice, what would that be?
Don't send naked pictures ever. It's always a mistake. It's always a mistake.
Gosh, that is the best advice I've ever heard on the Smile Diaries. And with that, Gina, this was amazing. It was so nice to have you on. We got to do a redo. And
this was great.
I love you.
I'll come back anytime. I love you.
Date night. You're amazing. Mwah. Mwah.